I mentioned Pete Rose news. Pete Rose has asked the commissioner, Rob Manfred, and this was earlier this morning, to remove his name from baseball's ineligible list, which would allow him to be considered for induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So the petition was sent to the commissioner's office. It was obtained by ESPN. Rose and his lawyers argue the commissioners recently opted not to punish players guilty of major game-changing rules infractions, and as a result, should end Rose's 30-and-a-half-year ban for gambling on baseball while he was manager of the Reds. The lawyers say that Rose's lifetime ban is, quote, vastly disproportionate when compared to baseball's punishment of players who took performance-enhancing drugs and the players involved in the sign-stealing schemes of the 2017 Astros. There cannot be one set of rules for Mr. Rose and another for everyone else. Rose's 20-page petition for reinstatement says no objective standard or categorization of the rules violations committed by Mr. Rose can distinguish his violations from those that have incurred substantially less severe penalties from Major League Baseball. Rose is seeking a meeting with the commissioner. Yeah, Paul.
Rule 21D, any player, umpire, or club, league official, or employee who shall bet a sum whatsoever upon any baseball game in connection with which the bettor has a duty to perform shall be declared permanently ineligible. He would have to remove that rule from the rule book forever to reinstate Pete Rose. What the Astros did, there's no rule that says what a specific punishment is. This is one of the shortest rules in the entire MLB rule book.
And I'd like to know if, and I don't have lockdown proof, but I certainly have what would be circumstantial evidence that Pete bet on baseball while he was a player. You're trying to tell me that Pete, who's been known to be a gambler, that he waited till he was the manager of the Reds to bet on his team every single night. I don't believe that's the case. And even if he bet on his team to win every single night, he's still betting on his team while he's a manager. As a player, I believe Pete bet on baseball. I don't know. I'm sure Major League Baseball knows this. My guess is that they're like, we're going to suspend him indefinitely. He's on the ineligible list because he bet as a manager, and not even get into, did he bet while he was playing? Did he bet against his team while he was playing? How often did he bet as a player? I just don't think you go, all of a sudden he wakes up one day and he goes, I'm going to start betting on my team. That's not how gambling works. It doesn't. Yeah, Paul.
Going back to Rule 21D, it doesn't matter if Pete Rose bet for or against his team. It doesn't differentiate. It doesn't matter if he's a player, an umpire, a league official, or a manager. But it does not say anything in there. He's permanently ineligible for working for an MLB ball club. That's what he's ineligible of. It says nothing there about being ineligible for the Hall of Fame ballot, the Hall of Fame eligibility. The Hall of Fame added that in later. So it's interesting. He could be on the Hall of Fame ballot without actually being reinstated to participate in baseball.
Yeah, because baseball's Hall of Fame has chosen to align itself with Major League Baseball here. That's by choice, because we've spoken to the Hall of Fame before, and the Hall of Fame says we could put him on the ballot if we wanted to, because it's their museum, and they could do what they want to do. They just chose to align themselves with Major League Baseball and the rules and regulations there, so Pete Rose is on the outside looking in. I still maintain Pete has gotten far more attention, notoriety, made far more money by not being in the Hall of Fame. Because if you said 25 years ago Pete Rose got into the Hall of Fame, this isn't a story. Nobody cares. We care because we saw Pete Rose play and you go, that's a Hall of Famer. And I'm right there with you. I went to see him. First game I ever saw in person, Pete Rose. Mid-60s. Got his autograph. He didn't charge me either back then. Yeah, see.
But part of Pete Rose's problem is that the people who actually do care about this are slowly being replaced by a bunch of people who never saw him play that probably don't care.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know that Pete Rose getting into the Hall of Fame is really a hot button topic for a certain age group.
For the younger group, yeah, maybe so. But they can't, those writers can't do anything. This is the commissioner. So the writers can go, we're going to put Clemens in or Bonds in. They can't put Pete Rose in Unless he's on the ballot, then you'd find out what these younger writers think about Pete Rose. The commissioner, I think, wants to uphold the integrity of that decision by Bart Chiamati. And Bud Selig didn't want to go against that. Faye Vincent didn't want to go against that. And this commissioner doesn't want to go against that either. When we had him in Washington, D.C., when he joined us at the All-Star game, and the commissioner, and we talked, and I don't want to compromise what we said off the air, but I got the same feeling that I got from Bud Selig. This is never happening while I'm the commissioner of baseball. It's just not.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.